Hello, everybody. Welcome back or welcome to the Just Dax podcast. It's your host, Dax, and today this video is going to be filled with joyful things because I was thinking about it, and recently, and a lot of my life, good things have came my way. Yes, I have had my hard times. Yes, I struggle with things daily, but in the big picture of things, I am like internally joyful because they could like stuff that has happened to me could be a lot worse. So let's get straight into the episode. Okay, like I said, jumping straight into it, joy. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and preface this as saying what I'm about to say is not horrible. It's not as bad as it seems. But basically, I think in my life I have had more good things happen to me to bad than bad compared to those I know around me. Okay, so my friends, immediate friends, I would say we live pretty great lives. Yes, we have our struggles, and honestly, a lot worse things has already happened to them than me, and that kind of scares me because it's like, wait, does that mean more bad things are happening to me in the future? Because that's like really freaky to think about. Like the bad stuff has already happened to them, and now they can live a great life. Nothing horrible has happened to me, and now my life is going down like a scary route. I don't really want to think about that, but I do think that worse things has happened to them, and they are so strong, and I am so grateful for them to be my friends in this day and age because we get each other, we see each other, we see through each other, we connect to each other. And I'm using all these hypothetical large words that I just cannot explain because you can explain it. There's this bond between a friendship that you cannot physically explain. You just have to be in there in that moment. And I'm sure people out there have those same bonds, and I would not understand their friendship either. But just good things has happened to me my entire life, and I want to share a couple of those good things that happened these like past weeks. So the like does April end on the 30th? I don't know. It's like the 30th or like the 29th. The couple last days of April, it just decided to get super hot outside, and that means summer is like officially here. Even though for some reason it decided to drop today, but my cousin was saying it's like wild berry season, and it's some old tale from generations passed down to our current generation that during wild berry season, it's like the weekend before Mother's Day or whatever, it gets cold outside. So it's just like this generational tale brought down through the years, and it's upheld this year because it's staying a little bit cooler, like in the 60s, which is some people consider like warm. But in Bama, maybe 60 is the life. I'm going outside and I'm riding a bike, and people also be throwing their cardigans on when it's 60 outside. So me, I'm in my jeans because the 60s are the perfect jean weather. It's a breeze, it feels good, but you're not hot and sweaty unless you get it going. But wildberry season, whatever. Well, we are like that week before April, like the 27th through the 30th. One of those days, we all decided to have a nice pool tan day because the sun came out. And it was just so amazing. I love the summer. Summer is got to be like everyone has their favorite season. I think it might be summer for me because that is when I glow. I'm still kind of pale right now. It's hard to tell. I've gotten a little bit of sun on me, so I'm starting to glow, like that shimmer's coming through my skin. But the glow is not there yet. Summer is my favorite holiday. Girl, holiday! Summer is not a holiday. Oh my gosh, I have problems. Okay, summer is my favorite season. Let me get it right. Well, we have our pool day. We're hanging by the pool. Some of like I would consider my closest, most best friends are there with me. And someone brings up the fact that there is a creek not too far. And they're like, wait, do y'all want to go to the creek? And I was like, you know what? Heck yeah. I ain't been to the creek since last fall. Let's go to the creek. Like, this is an indigenous area. So we head down to the creek. I take my truck because there was not going to be enough seats on us on the Pioneer to all ride together. Like down there, it would have been way too uncomfortable. So we took my truck. Some of us hopped in. The others went to the Pioneer. And it's like down the road behind like my grandmother's house because it's like the family compound, which I don't live in the compound. The others, like my dad's side of the family, quote, lives at the compound. It's not really one. There's just everybody kind of lives in this one area we call the Loop. And I'd say like over half of my dad's family lives on the Loop. So that's just like a quote compound, I call it. So it's down my grandmother's road, and then you take a like right down to this house, which used to be my cousin's house before it sadly burnt down, but they're living it up now. That was a sad time. Supposedly lightning struck the house, and that's just crazy knowing that a natural element like that could just strike your house down. Like, insane. Thankfully my house has not done that, because I've had a couple of house burnings in my family, and with us having 4 children and our house hasn't burnt down yet, I'm just thanking every single day for that, because that's just horrible. Like, I would never want to go through that. Your house just burning down. That's insane to me. But we drive down to the creek and we all hop in the Pioneer. We had to be like the men who cut their logs down, like a lumberjack. We had to be a lumberjack because for some reason about 5 trees decided they wanted to fall straight in our paths. Now, when they were tinier, we just took that Pioneer and rammed into it. Some of them broke in half. The others, we had to physically grab with our hands and lift them up. Me and JB, we were threw them over. Call me up if you need any lumber lawn service, because baby, I got you. I can chop that axe, chop it with that axe and split it, throw it over in the pile. I'll leave it for you for burning wood if you want me to. I won't keep it up myself. But we moved them logs out the way, and we're headed down to the creek because it's this windy road that we made. We get there and it is flowing, y'all. I've never seen this creek this full in my life. The currents go in, and we're like, should we get in? Like, it was hot. It was literally hot. So we decided, why not? We all took off what we needed to. We had our swimsuits on already because we were, tanning by the pool. And we just strip and get in, and it feels amazing. Obviously, it's a little chilly, but this is about the only time of the year you can get in the creek, because now, let me preface this real quick. It's not a creek as in like a little stream. It's a good size, like, distance across the other side. It would take me probably like 7 to fit. Well, it depends on, I'd say like 15 seconds to swim across to the other side. So there is it's quite wide, and it goes down for a long ways. Now, it is like geographically called the Lost Creek, which is so like mysterious. Like, is that where the fairies live or something? But I love a little written, like you could write a little fairy tale about that. You know what I mean? Like, I love names that are just fit the vibe of an area. So that is the Lost Creek, and we're swimming in the Lost Creek. The Lost Creek. We are swimming in the Lost Creek. Help me. And we're just having the time of our lives. The water's chilly, but not too chilly. Like, you can get used to it really easily. And we take photos. And I decided to just grab the soil. So I inserted my hands into the bottom of the creek, lifted it up, and this muddy soil just fills the inside of my hands. And at that moment, I reconnected with my ancestors. Something in me, I felt an internal flow of the soil seeping into my skin. And I was reminded that I am blood Native American. Now, yes, one half of the family, we're straight from Europe. But if we're picking from this other side of the family, I believe it's my mom's side, her dad, we got some Native American in us. And I don't know, I think it's the Choctaw. I wish it was the Creek. That would have been perfect. I was my Creek Indian ancestors in the Creek. But I believe it's actually Choctaw. Now, I'm just like, I grab that mud, I lift it up, and I'm like, I'm Native American descendant. This is where I'm meant to be. So I like spread it across my chest. I do 2 handprints, spread it across my eyes. You know, the bacterias from the creek, them brain-eating amoebas, probably inserted into my nostrils that way, but it was all for the tradition, right? You had a tradition of thou Native Americans. So I put it on my skin and I let it soak, and then I just like look up into the sky and I'm like, I would love to be living in the times before colonization, where I am just living my best Native American life in the creek, and I'll go fishing. I'll like have to hunt for my food, and I'd be so tan because I'd be out in the sun all day, and I wouldn't have to worry about eating anything that would harm my body, like these little Debbie cakes and stuff, because they didn't have that back then. I ain't got to worry about the microplastics in my body. All I got to worry about is where I'm finding my next meal, and that's me hunting a deer out in the wild. Because let me write a book real quick. I need to write down a synopsis because I need to be transported back in the Native American days. I know everybody has that era where they want to live in, like, oh, I want to live in the 80s. I want to go back to the medieval times and be like a knight or something. No, you don't. Do you know how horrible that smelled? Baby, they didn't have bathrooms. You pooped in the river. You pooped in the creek that I'm washing my body in right now. Hygiene out the window. Because what is that? They didn't even have a word for hygiene back then because medieval times were that crusty. No. I want to live in the 80s. I want to live in the medieval times. Oh, I'm definitely a, 90s baby. That was literally like 2 decades ago. What do you mean you're connecting with a 90s baby? I am going to take a time machine and live in the Indian era before they were colonized, because that is where my roots lie. Now, after my connection back to my ancestors, I washed my body off because I was like, all right, this feels like a little bit of appropriation. I'm kidding, it isn't. I'm blood related. So I washed my body off, and we have the speaker going on in the background. We are just having the best time of our lives, y'all. I have not had this much fun in a long time. And it's funny how the things that are the most fun cost no money. How the things that are the most fun cost nothing and also aren't planned. Because this was not a planned, oh, we're going to have a creek date. No. This was off the whim. Y'all want to go to the creek? And we just had the best, absolute best time. Now, I had another spiritual awakening while we were down there at the creek because we had the speaker, like I mentioned. The speaker was playing some of the best bops of our times, the songs that get your friend group going. They were playing, and I requested a song. Now, I am number one Lorde stan. Now, Lorde as in the singer / artist, because I consider her an artist in my book. She is of the arts. And don't even get me started on the Solar Power album, because that is for the arts, not charts. Because if you let that flop in your brain and in your catalog, you have a problem, because that was, I think, is probably my current most favorite album that she has released. Pure Heroin was good. Melodrama was good. Like, these are, look, they're all number one for me, but Solar Power had that platinum, premium, gold plated, silver icon stamped for me. Loved that song. But the song I told them to play was Ribs by Lorde. Now, my friends know me. They know I love Lorde, and I've kind of actually gotten them into it. My cousin Bella, which is like number one best friend, I've mentioned her. She knows me, and I converted her into a Lorde stan. The new What Was That song that came out, guess what? I got her listening to it, and she said she has loved it and enjoyed it, and she'll send me pictures on Snap every time she's playing the song, and she's like, look, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you. I'm converting I'm converting a devil to an angel today. But basically, I told them to put Ribs on, and they were like, yes, because they all love the song too. In the beginning, it's very ethereal. It's these synths and like almost hums and like distant echoed screams, and they're all slowly getting louder and louder and louder, and they vibrate and they echo. So I just decided to lay myself down in the water and float. And I was floating. Now just imagine Lorde Ribs intro, and I'm floating up and I'm floating up and I'm floating down the stream, and then I submerge, and then I'm brought back to life, and the beat drops, and it goes, the drink you spill all over me. So the song starts, and I've never been more happy in my life. Like, if you want to make me happy, throw me in a creek and play Lorde. That's all you got to do. Now I'll stop the creek tangent up because that is just a joyful story I needed to share with you. But I have another story for you, and it's joyful, but it also involves pain and suffering. Now, tell me why Bella, my cousin, texts me and says, do you want to do a spin cycle class? Now, my first reaction was, what in the heck is a spin cycle class? And then I thought about it a little deeper, because I just take things as they are sometimes, and I like take it on the plate. Like, if you give me a plate with vegetables on it, I'm just like, ooh, vegetables. But I don't look deep and see broccoli and it's steamed. I'm like, ooh, I like steamed broccoli. I just see the plate of vegetables, even though I do like vegetables. Think of it more like you hand me a plate of chocolate and candy, and I just see that it's candy and chocolate, but I don't see the sour gummy worm down there, because I'm taking that sour gummy worm. I'm going right past that chocolate. Well, she hands me this text and is like, we need to go spin cycling. And I was just like, spin cycling? Now, what other exotic thing are you getting us into? And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, wait, this is like one of the classes. It's like the bicycle that's like the Pelotons. You know, the little Peloton bicycles, you like spin on them. That's why they call it spin class, whatever. And I was like, okay, I guess we can. When are we doing it? Because she texted me at like 8 o'clock, and she's like, it starts tomorrow at 5:15 a.m. And you know what I did? I downloaded the app and booked the $20 session for 5:15 in the morning. It was 8:45 at night, and I had to get up at 4:30. And I did. I got up at 4:30, set my alarm. She texted me. I didn't even see it. She was like, wake me up if I don't wake up. She's like, I set 3 alarms. I was like, okay, set a 4th, because 4:30 is insane. But we did it. I get up at 4:30. Me and our friends Peyton and Mary go, and another friend of ours, Emily. Oh my gosh, I got transported into another universe. Emily and Mary Todd, other friends of ours that just so happened to show up, were there too. And then the class maxed out at like 12 people, and so the other like 6 were like women, being like 25. There was another younger one, I'd say like 20, and then there was like 35, 40-year-olds. But there was only 12 spots, and we took about 5 of them already. Well, we get in there, and I'm spinning. You know, we're getting the spin class going, and the instructor is, and I just called that an instructor. Instructor is a former teacher of mine, which is a current teacher of the girls that I went with. Turns out they were getting bonus points for doing this. So not only did we wake up at 5:15 to put the work in, but they were getting bonus points for it. And I was like, you know what? A girl's got to do what she got to do. If it comes down to it and you're failing the class, which they're not, but if you're failing the class and you got to go to a spin cycle class that your teacher is instructing for bonus points at 5:15 in the morning, I am taking it. Like, who's going to, like, you know the rules. You can't eat a ube butterscotch cake birthday cupcake. Let me restart that. You know the rules. You can't eat a buttercup. Okay, I'm giving up because what the heck just came out of my mouth? A butterscotch ube cupcake with an eyeball split. Okay, you know what? That is my sign that I just need to stop, because what is my problem? You know the meme if you know the meme, but if you don't, then you don't, and I just made a fool of myself. Well, we're getting in the spin class, okay? We're spinning, and the instructor is a former teacher of mine. I love him. He's really nice, really sweet. Very healthy man, too. He's, like, sophisticated. Like, he knows what he's doing. He keeps his body healthy while I'm over here down in 2 tacos from Taco Bell and maybe a Baja Blast slush made large, but they always give you a medium cup instead of large, and so you have to go back in the drive-thru and be like, hey, is this a large? I asked for large, and they say, oh, no, sorry, and then they'll give you another one that's actually medium and not a large, and you ask for extra cream in it, and they look at you and laugh. But the spin cycle class was really fun. It was about 35 minutes long. I felt the burn. My legs were burning. I should have adjusted the seat a little more because I just kind of sat on it and it felt good. But when you stand up, I was kind of arching my back a little bit too much. I probably needed to move the actual handlebars up some, but I didn't do it because I was just trying to get this spin over with. We finished at like literally 5:50. So this is 5:50, y'all. This is today, like the day I'm recording. This has happened this morning. I've been up since 4:15 or 4:30. But our power went out last night. I don't know why. I don't know who. I don't know what hit a power line or what short-circuited. But the second my fan turned off, I woke up and it was pitch black and silent. And I thought I had been murdered. Because why is it pitch black and silent? My fan's not going. My rain sounds aren't going anymore. Because you take one of those out of the equation, then I'm waking back up. It's rain sounds plus fan equals sleep. You cannot have one of those. If you're left one of those out, then it does not equal sleep. So I'm waking up, I'm like, oh crap, no way the power turned off after I had the contemplation in my mind if I had just died or not. But it was just the power. And my brother, I think, was upstairs stomping. It's like 3 in the morning. So I really was up at about 3, but I went back to sleep, fell asleep, woke up at like 4:30. Got ready, went to spin cycle class. Great class. I would recommend it. I don't know if I would keep going at 5:15 in the morning, but we had school. So we had to obviously take that class because I had to be there school starts at like 7:55. I really got to be there at 8. And you're like, well, Dax, why didn't you just take the 6 o'clock spin cycle class? It's because my cousin is a girl and our other friends are mostly girls, so you know it's going to take a second for them to get ready. And while they were getting ready, we're going to go meet up at a coffee shop after, and I decided to run my little happy butt to Chick-fil-A, grab a 10-count nugget meal, like chicken min meal, and then meet them there, and they gave me dirty looks, which is okay. Now, speaking of Chick-fil-A, I quit. I quit my job at Chick-fil-A now, Dax. Why did you do that? You don't have a job. I do have a job. Guess what? I have talked with my uncle and aunt. My uncle owns a company. He does pools. And I'd be like a pool boy. And I'm also working with my aunt on projects she has going around on her house. So this is a great opportunity for me. Not only am I going to be so much more flexible for the summer, because I'll show you. I have it written down right here because I was going to go ahead and finish a little calendar for them so they know what days I'd be gone. And I'm probably about to dox myself, but I made a little calendar for them to be like, here's the days I'm going to be gone. They obviously don't care. I just told them throw me in the schedule when they can. So here's May. Now it's going to not be mirrored, but I'll just explain to you what's going on here. So this is today, I believe. We have work tomorrow, whatever, because this right here is going to be the last day of work. That is the 17th, okay? Now, from the 17th all the way to here, I'm free. So if they need me to start, I can start then because I'll have my last day of school on the 16th, even though final exams are these 2 days. But I won't have a final exam because I'm a smart kid and can exempt the majority. Now, then I'm going to be out of town these 2 days. Me and my cousin are going to watch her boyfriend play baseball, I believe. And then we start Boys State. Now, Boys State is just this basically, quote, camp where you are roomed with 3 other guys. Obviously, it's a bigger event, but you're roomed with 3 guys, and it's a mock government week, so you learn about the government. Really great opportunity to learn about the government, but also scholarship opportunities. So I'm going to do it, and it sounds exciting. But that literally lasts from the 25th to the 31st. That is a whole 7 days. Like, golly, I don't know how I'm going to do it. But keep in mind, that lasts all the way to the 31st. Now, we're going to go from May all the way to June. So, remind you, I'm going to be gone. I'm coming home the 31st. I have this entire week. And then we leave for our big family beach trip, which lasts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. I am so excited for this family beach trip. This is the big one. Like, I'm talking, everybody is going on this one. So that is just so much fun. But then I have 1 more week of I could work. And then I'm straight to church camp, which I can leave if I need to, like during church camp, because it's not too far. And then I have 1 week, and a day. And this is moving on to July. And I go straight back to the beach. And then I'm free for what I know at the end of that last beach. I'm bumping this. At the end of the last beach trip being July 5th. Now, Daxon, why are you going on so many beach trips? Because who knows when I can. Who knows when I get out of high school if I'm going to be able to take these beach trips anymore. I'm trying to live my life to the fullest right now, right here, right how. Because who knows what lies ahead in my future. Not me, of course. Only the good Lord at this point. Because even if I went to a psychic, they'd probably be like, you're too messed up to try to understand what your future holds. And I'm going to agree with them on that because I have problems. And I got issues. You got them too. Just give your sorry to me and I'll give mine to you. Sorry. I'll see. That's my girl. Now, booked and busy already for the summer. Those are just the dates I know I'm going to be gone. And I'm going to be, but like I said, I quit Chick-fil-A. Now, nothing against them at all, but it has been a long 10 months with them. And I think it's just the food industry in general because work hours are not regular hours. And when I'm tell you, a singular work hour feels about multiplied by 3 hours in itself. I'm getting paid $12 an hour, which is decent pay, mind you. But it really feels like 3, so is it worth it? And I'd much rather be outside doing pools getting tan than being stuck inside serving fried chicken to somebody. That's just my hot take. Now, let's see, how long have I been going for? I've been going for about 29 minutes now. Good thing, bad thing, you call it what you want to. But I think it's time for me to walk out the door and leave. Now, I'm going to leave you with let me leave you with something good to think about. If your life is not currently joyful, it's okay. We have those days, we have those weeks, we have those years. It could be a loss. It could be like loss as in a friendship, a family member, like a close family member, like lost as in like possibly passed away, or it could be lost connections between people, Or if you're just thinking about your past and how you miss those memories, you've lost those memories, it's okay. I need you to dig yourself a different hole because you're digging yourself down a real deep one right now. Bring that shovel, and instead of digging down, bring it up. We're going to dig right back up, okay? Because there's so much better things to think about than what you have lost. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the opportunities you've been given. And if you haven't been given any opportunities, seek them, because I find this all the time that people are like, well, I can't do this, or nobody has done this for me. And you look deep down into it and you look at their life and what they've done, and they've not done anything to help themselves prepare for the future or prepare them a pathway. They have been stuck up in their room doing nothing, dog crap, eating popcorn and watching TV shows. And you know what? I can relate to that in some instance in my life. I can relate to that. But what I did, and also I'm sorry, I literally can't speak. I can relate to that. Shut up, Daxon. But what I did was get my butt up and went out and just tried to find fun and joy and whatever. So you do that too. If you think you are just stuck where you are, go out. I don't care if you're anxious. I don't care if you got social anxiety. Find a new person. Say hi. Go to a coffee shop. Just have a regular conversation with the barista at the time. A couple words. It can change your life. All right. I'm going to leave you with that today. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It's Just Dax signing out.